Mr. Öney, welcome to Washington, D.C.
Thank you very much.
So you're a participant of this conference. Also, you are a member of TAİK. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. I am a TAİK board member. I've been a long board member for many years. I am also founder and managing partner of Global Turk Capital for the last 7 years. It's mostly active in the mergers and acquisitions space as well as private equity investments. We are assisting Turkish companies and U.S. companies and foreign companies in their investments into Turkey and their investments from Turkey to outside Turkey. So we are very active in that area. I am also a country representative of EMPEA in Turkey, which is the Emerging Markets Private Equity Association out of Washington, D.C. Its members constitute about $1 trillion of assets under management. So it's a huge organization, and I'm the only country representative of EMPEA out of U.S. So we try to promote private equity investments in Turkey. And most recently, there's also a trend from Turkey to U.S. and Europe for outbound investments. We are seeing these happening, and we will probably be seeing these in a more speedier manner. So in a nutshell, I've been very active in the investment environment for the last 22 years in various Turkish investment banks and advisory firms, as well as some of the telecom operators in Turkey. And before that, I was an engineer for 10 years. So in the U.S., actually, I worked in a U.S. company many years ago in their oil and gas sector. Now I'm in Turkey, helping U.S. and Turkish businesses do business together.
Perfect. So most of our viewers, Americans or Turkish Americans in the United States. So if we are to give them a message about investing in Turkey or finding an investor from Turkey, what would you suggest?
Well, if we just take away this political and all these types of issues, there's a lot going on the ground in Turkey. Businesses are going on. Turkish businesses are very active, both domestically and outside Turkey, in the region, also in Europe and in some other parts of the world. So I seriously suggest both U.S. investors and businesses to focus into the Turkish businesses, that there's a lot they can collaborate with each other to do more business in Turkey, outside Turkey, and in the U.S. for that matter. So I think, looking into news all the time or listening from outside does not really reflect what's going on the ground. So I suggest for U.S. businesses to come to Turkey, meet with Turkish businesses, look for opportunities, because there are so many opportunities in Turkey as we speak. A lot of private equity investors are focusing into Turkey. Just as an example, in the last 1 year, new private equity money was raised, close to $1 billion. That is currently looking for investments in Turkey. We are awaiting more money to come to Turkey from the private equity funds. They are most active. So Turkish businesses are taking advantage of their fundings to raise some money there and to come to U.S. and Europe to make investments. So there's an awful lot of investments going on. And for Turkish companies, I suggest them to look into mostly acquisition opportunities in the U.S. because there are so many small to mid-sized companies in the U.S. where they're also hungry for growth. So Turkish businesses can actually come and acquire these businesses or partner with these businesses to do more business in the U.S. So there's so much between the two business communities.
Perfect. How about if, let's say, I'm an American and I would like to invest in Turkey? what are the most active sectors in Turkey?
Well, first of all, Turkey is a great market. We've got 80 million people living, and half of it is under the age of 30. So there's a huge consumer growth being expected. So they can invest and do business into Turkey's consumer markets. Also, Turkey is a huge manufacturer of various goods between Western Europe, like Germany and Italy, and maybe China, a little bit India. There's no other manufacturing base in the world but Turkey. So there are lots of manufacturing opportunities. Turkey, a lot of goods are exported from Turkey to Europe and US and to all other countries. So companies who are looking into taking advantage of these opportunities should come and partner with these Turkish groups who are exporting everywhere. And also they can take advantage of the consumer growth. Also, another important sector is healthcare. There are a lot of good hospitals being built in Turkey. Medical tourism is growing, definitely. We are seeing a lot of Middle Eastern clients coming, or patients, I would say, to get treatments in Turkey, as well as European and U.S. A lot of cosmetic surgeries and everything is happening, so a lot going on.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.